Hey everyone, it's Enrique. Um, yeah, so for once, I'm not posting on a Sunday. It's a Friday right now, as you can see. Well, at least I'm recording on Friday. So today I wanted to talk about jealousy and recycling, and not like plastic recycling. I'll get into that when I get into it. Um, so jealousy. Sometimes when you try to make something better of yourself, better of your life, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? There will always be people at a workplace or wherever who are trying to bring you down, whether it's jokingly, whether it's directly, or it's just a vampire energy type of thing, right? Some people are energy vampires, as I've learned recently. They'll just suck your energy dry. Um, and to that, I would say believe in yourself. Part of believing in yourself is fighting for your self belief. It's not enough to just believe in yourself, you gotta fight for your self belief. When push comes to shove in situations like those, jealousy, when jealous people try to put you down, you gotta fight for your self belief and say, no, I know who I am. I know what I've been through. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I will do, and I know my mindset. No one can take that away from me unless I choose to let them take that away from me, right? And again, when it comes to these type of people, you always have to think and remind to yourself. I'm stealing this quote on one I found on social media. Attractive people give compliments. Successful people give business advice, right? Or I guess academic advice, depending on your route. And people who have nothing to offer will keep you down. So, in a sense, jealous people. Yes, sure, you can make the argument that there'll be jealous people who are successful, there'll be attractive people who are, well, jealous, right? Right? Sure, that's true. But we're not thinking that deep here. If the only thing they have to offer are just that and nothing more, then, I guess jealousy would make sense if they have nothing else to offer, if they're insecure about themselves. But that's getting a little too deep. So, people who have nothing to offer you but to let you down, you have to think to yourself, I'm better than this. I know who I am. I know what I have to offer to myself, to my family, to those around me, right? I know who I am, and I won't let something like that bring me down, right? You gotta start thinking like that, right? Negativity and jealousy will only bring you down unless you let it. As like I said before, you have to build your mental fortitude. You have to imagine something very strong. For me, it's something stronger than steel, and that does the trick. I imagine it, and then I create it here in my mind. When you have that mental fortitude and tell yourself, hey, positive thoughts, I won't give way to negative thoughts or give it meaning. That's when stuff like that stop affecting you, right? You see jealousy for what it is. It's just people who never gave themselves that chance. Maybe it might be their fault, maybe it's not. That's why they're bringing you down, because they've never seen evidence of things working out in their experience in their life. So they have to bring you down with you, because they are all realist, not an idealist. And that's why it's very important to give those type of people a show. Tell them, I know who I am, and I'm going to inspire you to do better too. I'll inspire you by inspiring myself. That's the only way. And talking about positive and negative, there goes the topic of recycling. And what I mean by recycling is you want to recycle positive thoughts that goes in your mind, right? You want to say, oh, I'm the best. Okay, let's recycle that. Let's keep recycling that thought. We keep recycling. Let's keep repeating that thought, right? And then let's turn into, I am the best. I am the greatest. And I am awesome. Stuff like that. You want to upgrade it a little bit, right? Like with plastic. I mean, with recycling. You may start off as a plastic bottle, right? And then eventually when you get recycled again, you get turned into something better and greater. That's the way you have to think about recycling your thoughts. You want to start good, but then you want to start great, and then you want to start greater, and then you want to start the great. You want to end off as the greatest. Actually, you don't want to end off as the greatest. There is no limit unless you choose for there to be a limit, but I would say there's no limit. The only limit that you have is, I was gonna point at the sky, but right here, your mind's the only limit that you have. And the same thing goes with negative thoughts. The more negative thoughts you say in your mind, the more negative thoughts are gonna be recycled in your thought process. You say, oh, blah 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 bad, and then eventually you'll start saying blah 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 worse, blah blah blah. It is absolutely dog crap, right? So if you could recycle your thoughts into something positive, is the same thing with negative thoughts. And that's something I've realized on this journey of self-improvement. And that I feel like that's the way you really have to think about positive thinking, I guess, just thinking in general. Whatever you start off thinking, it'll be recycled into something else, into a different form. Just like plastic starts off as a bottle, and then I guess it could start off, and then it could be recycled into a gallon to be formed as a gallon. Or I guess with metal, you have your can, right? And then it could be, I don't know, the metal chairs of a table, right? That's an example. It'll keep having different forms every time you recycle. Maybe some stronger or better than the last, but that's the way you have to think about your thought process. It's recycling whatever you think, whatever you say, whatever you believe. It'll keep recycling into that process. I am the best. Okay, I'm gonna recycle that into a different form. I am the greatest, right? And sure, maybe it sounds like I'm saying the same thing that I would usually say in the past, but that's the point. As I said it before, that's the point. The point I've always wanted to make is make your life better. Live your life. Just live it. Don't just exist in it. Just live in your life. Live in your life. Positive thoughts will change your life. A positive mindset will change your life. And the same thing goes with negative and negativity. We must either choose to liberate ourselves or become a slave to ourselves. That is the choice we are given. Or we could, like I've mentioned before, we could quit, surrender, or die. Surrender or die. But the only option we have for certain is fighting. Keep fighting for our positive thoughts, for our beliefs. And that's it, really. That's the end of the video. It was a little shorter. But, I hope everyone is doing great. And may all your wishes come true.